Well, welcome to Medical Sales U. I'm Dave Sterrett, your host, and every once in a while, someone joins Medical Sales U that reminds me why I started this. Now, I kind of had twofold when I started Medical Sales U. It was for those who were trying to break into the industry. But over time, something happened. We began attracting executive leaders, those who had already had years of experience, national sales directors, regional leaders. And that's when I realized that the greatest winners never stopped learning. And today's guest, Kristy McCracken, is a perfect example. Kristy's a seasoned leader from Dallas, Texas. She's built a phenomenal career in medical devices, biologics. She's led national sales teams. She's managed multi-million-dollar revenue. She's coached reps. And she's worked with major players like Essity, Merck, Baylor Scott & White. So Kristy, when you joined our program, I just want to say you gave so much to our students. You brought so much energy. And I just want to thank you so much for joining the podcast today. Kristy, great to have you on the show.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Kristy, tell us a little bit about yourself. If I say, hey, Kristy, tell us about yourself. Give us a little run through and then tell us about this new opportunity that you just took.
Sure. So I grew up in the Dallas area. My family is all here. Have about 20 years of experience within the healthcare sector. And I started my career within the pharmaceutical sales industry and then worked over towards medical device. And I always knew I wanted to be a leader and a manager because inspiring others brings me a lot of joy. And so currently I have taken a position with a company called Essity, which is a global leader in health and hygiene within the compression space and wound care. And we operate in 150 different countries. And I have the opportunity to lead a sales team within the Southeast region covering 10 states. And so we have the opportunity to help patients have products such as compression therapy that, you know, maybe they were going through chemo or going through, some type of procedures and they have lymphedema. So we're able to better provide them compression therapy and things of that nature. So I really enjoy it.
Well, we are so excited for this new opportunity. And just thank you so much for entrusting us, joining the program. You came to me. We met in Dallas. I think we communicated years ago. We reconnected on LinkedIn. And you were, at the time, I think, working with collaboration with Baylor Scott & White out in Dallas. But when you reached out to me, tell us a little bit about that process of why you decided to join MedicalSalesU.
Oh, yeah. Dave, you've had a presence within the professional community, within the healthcare industry, as far as your knowledge, your relationships with the different companies. And I've always known that because I knew you from, I think it was 5 to 10 years maybe ago. And then when I saw some posts that you had made on LinkedIn, they really spoke to me. And I read more about MedicalSalesU and all that it has to offer. And I thought this would be a great opportunity for me to learn more about the industry. And I think you and I have spoken about always sharpening the saw, always making sure that you are, on the cutting edge of your industry and technology and making sure that you understand, what your competitors are doing or making sure that you're always up to date. So that really spoke to me, your messaging. And MedicalSalesU offers a team of support, a professional group. And I think that whether, we have a family, a community within our church, or I was talking about, team approach. So I really believe everybody should have a community, whether it be in their school or their church or their family. Having a professional community and support group is really, really important within our professional careers. And MedicalSalesU offers that. It offers a platform to where you have a coach, which is Dave, yourself, and then the other students, and that's your team. And so we all need that support. We all need that motivation and that continued knowledge of how to be better and learn more about industry trends and the greatest, newest things that are on the market. And so that provided me a great amount of information, and I really, really enjoyed it and took away a lot of friendships from it that will be lifelong.
Well, I mean, you gave so much, and that's what I've really enjoyed about coaching you all on these Zoom calls, because we have the course that's recorded. People go through it at their own pace. But for those of you like yourself, you jump on these Zoom calls, every Monday night. We do some other ones as well. But it's not just me getting up there and teaching everything. It's the interaction. It's the question. It's the insights, because, we've had two national sales managers join. Joe Lukey joined. We've had a couple of medical doctors join, pharmacists, nurse practitioners. And so there's this interaction. I mean, this going back and forth. And sometimes what I find fascinating is that it's someone else, maybe someone who's brand new, who tells us about something new, maybe a strategy of how to reach out to someone on LinkedIn. I mean, we had a guy who was a minister, a young life guy, who just gave us a few tips about what he's doing on LinkedIn not to get ghosted. And I love that interaction, but you provided a lot of wisdom as well. Can you take us back a few years to what made you decide to jump into this industry altogether? Because, we help seasoned reps reinvent themselves into new specialties, but we also help those who are breaking in. Why did you decide this career?
Yeah, I have always had a passion for the medical industry. It excites me. I've got a very inquisitive mind. I'm always wanting to learn, and through family members' health challenges, we're always trying to better understand what is on the market. How can we help the ones that we love, whether they're going through a struggle, say, with cancer or something, some other disease state. I lost a dear, good, very, very close girlfriend to breast cancer. And with that said, I couldn't be more passionate about the industry, because I get the opportunity to learn about the different types of products and things that patients have and have access to now, because it's always changing. There's always new drugs, new technology. We have AI now, and that has changed the game tremendously. So my passion runs deep. It goes both professionally and personally as well.
You told us that there came a point where you knew that you were, passionate, not just about being an individual contributor, but a people leader. When did you know that, and what drew you into leading a team, leading people?
Yes, I always knew that I wanted to lead and motivate people. My father is a professor at UTD, and he actually teaches healthcare leaders and doctors. He runs
I did not know that, Kristy.
Yes, he runs an MBA program for healthcare management. And
what's your father's name?
John McCracken.
John McCracken. I thought about enrolling in that MBA program at one point.
Really? Oh, you should.
Did. Yes.
You should. Yes. He actually founded it back in the 90s.
That's a great program. It really is.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. All right, I'll let you get back to your story. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. So it kind of runs in the family. I have to say, my father is an exceptional leader. I have watched him speak, and I've kind of followed in his footsteps. He motivates people. He brings the best out in people, and he challenges people to be better. And I've enjoyed watching that. And I feel that I've been given some of those gifts as well, and find that I have motivated others to be better and sometimes bring out strengths and skills in others that they don't see maybe. And that's all part of management, right? We try to help those people see the strengths and opportunities that maybe they didn't see themselves before, and really leverage that and help them succeed and make their quotas and make their goals and shine and then be promoted. I've promoted several representatives to senior roles, and that's extremely rewarding to see somebody professionally grow and, be able to mentor their peers. So that all is something that I really truly believe I was meant to do.
There's some people get into this industry and it's hard. They face rejection. They get knocked down. And I'm sure managing a team, you've had people like that. What do you do if a rep just isn't performing the way they should be? And before you fire them, can you share with us a story? Because there's people who get into this, and I even think in a program, once in a while I'll have someone get in and you realize really just how hard it is. It's not easy. But can you share with us a story of maybe a time, you don't have to give us their name, but maybe a time you found a rep and you coached them along, they were able to improve tremendously and get them back on track?
Absolutely. I have a few examples. I'm thinking of one in particular about a year ago. He did struggle, and I think that he was just a little bit lost and really did want to do well. He hadn't made his quota in 3 consecutive quarters, and therefore that warranted a performance improvement plan at the time. And I think, of course, that scares all of us. That scares reps. We sometimes don't know, but if the representative really truly wants to succeed, they're given the tools to do so. And I really wanted to see this representative succeed, and I know he did too. And I believe if there's a will in them, there's a way. So if somebody is really trying, then that's all that matters. And with that being said, I did several field rides and ride-alongs, and I think this individual was hearing no a lot in the field, which we all do in sales. We're going to hear no. We're going to be shut down by the gatekeeper. We're going to be told no lunches. We're going to be told, no reps. We're going to be told doctors out. We're too busy, or we don't see medical reps anymore. So we're going to be told those things, but you can't stop there. You have to keep going, because that's where your competitors will stop. So you keep thinking of creative ways. And Dave, I attribute this to some of your teachings, in that you talk about how you differentiate yourself, being 6'7", that strikes up a conversation in the hall with some nurses. And then before you know it, you're speaking about your drug. So making sure that we're differentiating ourselves and not just stopping at the no, asking questions. I really try to get my representatives to ask the questions. Okay, you're using the competitor's product. I completely understand that. That's amazing that you're getting the results that you want. Tell me more about that. Why is that? What is it about this product that you see great results with? So ask questions and be present and don't stop trying. And then, that's, I would say, persistence is key. As long as you're persistent and you stay with it and you keep moving forward, you will win.
I love that. I love the positivity, the persistence, and asking questions, and not just asking questions, but being present with the follow-up question, right? So sometimes we'll ask a question, and then, reps will be very quick to respond with their data, their story, their product, but it's the follow-up question and the presence. And that takes patience on our end, because, right, the doctor comes in and says, you got 2 minutes or whatever, and they act busy. And the tendency for us is to want to try to vomit out as much information as possible. But I love it. And it takes strength to do that, to ask the question, to be present in the follow-up question. You, Kristy, I would love, back in the day, man, I wish I would have had a manager like you. Still do, right?
Oh.
You know, you're a phenomenal leader, and I love your positivity because on our calls, you know, our members, some of them went through third, fourth rounds, and then to get rejected, and then they have to go through the whole process again, right? And then finally, some of them, they've been getting jobs, right? And even our seasoned reps on the calls, you've been there before, I've been there before, where we go through round after round after round. But I tell our members, and you know this is true, it's just like doctors too. We may get rejected 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and we never know. It may not be that doctor. It may be a colleague of that doctor. It may be another physician who believes in your story. Kristy, I was just honored to have you in the program, but I'm curious here. Okay, you brought a lot of wisdom to the team here, but what are some things that you learned in MedicalSalesU? Because out there's listening, there's some seasoned reps, there's those who've gone through some ups and downs, or maybe someone who wants to reinvent themselves, maybe a new specialty, maybe a new role, a new company, a new division. For that seasoned leader, the person who's not brand new, the person who's made good money, what did you learn in this MedicalSalesU course?
Yeah, I would say I learned a ton because you don't know what you don't know. We'll say that even as a leader, as a manager, the game has changed since now we have AI post COVID. So much has changed, and you know, we can always read and reach out to others, but I learned so much from this course as far as how to connect with others in 2025 or 2026. What you used to do 5 years ago does not work anymore, or at least for myself.
All right, give us an example. What is something that maybe just reaching out to someone that you might do differently today than we couldn't do 5 years ago?
Absolutely. LinkedIn is a great platform, as we all know, but people get inundated with messages, right? So if you're trying to reach out to somebody and you really want to connect with them because you'd like to connect with the hiring manager or speak to an HR hiring director, it's all about how you approach them, because if they're getting multiple messages and solicitations or things of that nature, they may not respond to you. So it's how you write that message. It's what you say. It's how you connect to them. And that's what I learned in your course. And that is actually why I'm where I am today, because I reached out to an individual and connected over something that we both had in common, which was a previous company. And then he actually introduced me to someone that introduced me to the hiring manager. And so it was through things that I learned in this course in how to communicate with others, because it is a completely different industry and world than it was 5 years ago. I mean, we all know that with AI now. But what I learned in your course was real time data here that I would never learn anywhere else. It was amazing. It really was.
Thanks so much for sharing that. And, you know, that's what we want to encourage our audience with, and those considering is like, we all know that AI is here, but how do we show that we're human, that we're person? Because when it comes to the time that we're on camera and we're interviewing, we have to be flexible, and we have to come across that it's not obvious that we're reading. We have to show that we're human. And then we have to realize that we can connect with these people. And you mentioned it. We talk about finding common ground, not just asking for help, not just giving, you know, the worst thing I have is when people reach out to me, I do not know, and they ask, can I pick your brain? And here's my resume. What? Okay, one, why are they giving me their resume, right? But if you can find some common ground, and the truth is a lot of times there are people around us that we already have that common ground. And I encourage our members, like, who else that we already know that we can reach out to, find common ground, and then just ask for one thing, not ask for 20 things, ask for one thing that can move us in the right direction. Kristy, it's been awesome having you a part of this. We're excited for this new journey. We miss you on our Zoom calls, but we're going to have you back as a frequent guest, sharing your insights, sharing your wisdom to our group. And just thank you so much for joining MedicalSalesU.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. Miss you guys too. Miss the team.
Well, we're, lifelong friends. That's what we are here at MedicalSalesU.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.